Jack here. Listen, I'm a Canadian nationalist. A nationalist doesn't mean white supremacist. I'm tired of hearing that. A nationalist means you're proud of your country. And everybody that lives here should be proud of this country. Not their government. That's another matter. Listen, I see all these polls up on places like Twitter and that say, oh, should Saskatchewan separate? Should Alberta separate? Should Quebec separate? Listen, why do you have to ask a question that you know the answer to? Canada will always be stronger as a united country. The problem doesn't lie within the provinces itself or the peoples of this country. It lies within the governments on all levels, municipal, provincial, and federal. The only people in this country that are lining their pockets continually are politicians. Explain how a politician making 100 and some odd thousand a year become a millionaire. Money from lobbyists, special interest groups. They're wined and dined. They sit on special boards. All this goes, and Canadians just let it slide. They get called before the ethics committee, and these billionaires get a $100 fine. Nothing like spitting in the face of Canadians. Listen, the problem is the politicians. I'm crossing this country starting in May, looking for signatures from all citizens. I don't care what your party is, because everybody in every party has to be getting frustrated with the taxes, with the way government gets away with stuff. We need recall. We need politicians to be able to get a heavy, heavy fine. And I'm talking proportionate to what their income and what their wealth is. I'm talking about job stability. They should be able to lose their job. I'm talking about, punishments by law. I'm talking about pensions gone. That's what I'm talking about. And every Canadian should join in on this. Listen, if governments were fair and honest and open, number one, we'd have less taxes because they wouldn't waste as much. And then they go, oh, there would be a lot of jobs losses. Where? Get rid of the upper government. You don't need, everything there is duplicates and triplicates. Come on. It feeds off itself. It's like a living, breathing monster. The more it gets, the more it wants. And people just keep putting up with it. Well, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being taxed over 50%. I'm tired of the way governments use fear-mongering, like the ozone layer. We were going to die, and now it's climate change. Considering I live in Alberta right now and I was raised in the east, and Alberta used to be like a rainforest, temperature used to be warmer. There's such a thing as an ice age that comes about every 100,000 years. But people don't understand this stuff. And they fall for everything, hook, line, and sinker. The world is ending. The world is ending. And I'm telling you, so what? You're paying higher taxes. You think that's going to save if the world is ending? Wake up. Wake up. Look at the ministers we have in this country. Catherine McKenna. There is a bonehead. Trudeau. The most he ever did was teach elementary drama. Every job he's ever had is because of Daddy's name. These guys aren't doing any of the thinking, and they're not the ones putting these agendas forward. They're being pushed by somebody else. It's time we wake up. Stand up for Canada. Stand up for each other. Stand up against politicians. Do we need politics? Yes. Do we need government? Yes. What is the primary job of government? Seriously. To keep people, the citizens of these countries, the countries, safe. That is their primary job. What does Ralph Goodale and the Prime Minister do and the Immigration Minister do? Throw open the borders. Welcome terrorists. Why? That their number one job is to keep Canadians safe. There's already been multiple deaths because of immigrants that have come in. It's nothing but problems. They're not following the proper procedures anymore. He's invited everybody. He loves terrorists. He doesn't care that a little girl and other people have died. That doesn't concern him at all. We have to stand up. Sign my petition. Sign it. I'll present it in Parliament. We have to demand these changes, not ask, because it's not in their interest to go along with any of this. But we have the democratic right. We have the power. That power is the very same power we use when we give them their seat in the House of Commons. And let me ask you this. How many times has an MP been elected and then not acted on behalf of what the people want? What? All the time. They knock on your door in your constituency every time there's an election. As soon as the election's over and they've got their seat, they don't want to hear from you. Look in any phone book, find the Prime Minister's phone number. Find your MP's phone number. When they send out messages, their phone number's not on it. They give an address. They don't want you to bother them, even though they work for you. How would a private business operate like that? It wouldn't. And neither does our government. Our government is failing. It's failing the citizens of this country. It's failing the country. And it's failing the people that died and gave their lives to keep this country a free democracy. They're failing on all counts. And I'm not just saying it's the Liberals. Listen, look at the House of Commons. Look at all the MPs. As soon as that bell rings, oh my God, they got to get out of there. This country is in dire straits and needs people to stand up for it. But the supper bell rings, they're gone. They put in 5-6 hours a day. Big deal. They vote the way the whip sells them on each party. They don't vote individually. They don't vote conscience. Listen, I'm tired of the whole bullshit ring. I get so pissed off because people are so easily swayed. Oh, it's the Liberals. Oh, it's the Conservatives. We all know it's the NDP. They're worthless. But listen, the mainstream of each party is never going to admit to any of this crap. But the regular people have to wake up and say, you know what? I didn't realize I control the destiny of this country. And I don't just mean one, I mean as a collective, the peoples of this country control its destiny. And if we get together and get the signatures we need, we can demand change. And with the demand for change will come a day where we don't have to pay all these taxes because they won't be able to spend on these frivolous things like a skating rink that's not needed. Somebody to come and look at the lights up on Parliament Hill to tell them if the lights are pretty, or Trudeau's outfits and costumes and paying a terrorist. Come on, people. Wake up. It's Canada first. Politicians, no. Politicians should be there to serve the people of this country. But what are they doing? They're serving themselves. And also, they should not be able to benefit on their office for up to 10 years after they're out. They shouldn't be able to sit on any boards and get a stipend. That's the same thing as special interest groups. No. Why should they profit off of a political position? Not one of our politicians right now is a statesman. They're all just politicians. And the difference is a politician is only concerned with the next election, whereas a statesman is concerned about future generations. Our country, our politicians aren't worried about our water supplies. They don't stand up and say anything about that. It's all about immigration, denying facts, bring in as many as you can, globalization. They want Canada to be a thing of the past. Me, I'm not for that. I'm for Canada. Canada now, Canada in the past, and Canada in the future. Sign my petition. Thanks. I'm out of here.